What was the portions we covered? Which one? Attitude, right? What did we discuss in the last class? I think the last class about creativity. Earlier,
Yes, sir. Creativity and the hats. Yes.
complete attitude.
Last part is done in between.
Okay, okay, fine. The
Creativity.
remaining more slides.
Yes, sir. The last.
Just one second. CSCG2, are you able to see the screen?
No. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
No.
sir.
Okay. CSE1?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so to begin with, maybe I think in the previous class we discussed um, the introduction part and some of the slides we have covered. To have idea about what is that attitude is all about what you think and what you feel, and or whatever things that you believe. So those are going to be the attitude. The other side, and the behavior is something that whatever things that you are doing, which is visible for others also. The way you do the things, by noticed by other people, that defines your behavior. So now whatever things that you are doing, that is going to become your behaviors, whereas whatever you feel like before you start doing something, whatever you think before you start doing something, are the things that you believe, that are going to be attitude. And I think that is what we discussed in the last class, and we have seen what is attitude is all about: disposition, demeanor. It's a manner of doing things, and attitude is the way that you think, feel, or behave. We have seen positive versus negative attitude. Positive attitudes are rewarded. It means the individual is encouraged to try the same thing in future, which means the quality of being positive. So guys, that's what the positive attitude is. When you approach things in a positive manner, you also encourage other people also. Even though if you're a leader and you see the failures of your team members, your followers, but still you are not just removing them from the team, but still you encourage them. It's all about your trust which you have towards your team member or the players or your followers. How do you encourage them, and how much trust that you have them, because they have the ability or not. So accordingly, when you decide, when you have a positive approach towards those students, then that becomes a positive attitude, where you will get the reward, which means, so when they achieve something, you are also going to get, you are also being rewarded. So that is the meaning of this side. And the other side, negative attitudes are punished, which means just removing them from the team, and asking them to switch over to other team. So all those things comes here, having a negative attitude when you don't have a trust towards that particular team members in your team. So where if you think positive thoughts, we will surely experience emotions such as joy, love, gratitude. So whereas, moreover, when you look at people who are having very much, very good positive attitude, will have always, you know, uh, you can see them with, they will show lots of love, gratitude, and we can see them the peaceful life they live. So all those things we can see when people have a positive attitude, whereas a negative attitude people would always show disappointment, irritations. Sometimes they seems to be very jealous. So all those things would be there for people who have a negative attitude. Whereas having a positive attitude means a person believes everything happens for the best in the end. Even though, even if they are in trouble, they always focus more on the positive side. That is the beauty of having a positive attitude. So, guys, so even though the struggles, the problems they undergo, still they focus more on the positive side. So, guys, they think that it is for the best. Whatever happens, so mentally they are, they are going to become strong, and in future, if they are overcoming, if they are facing the same problem, they could easily overcome. So that is the way they are taking those problems and issues. That is what the positive attitude is all about. Whereas negative attitude tends to believe the best days are in the past, just looking at the past experience, just feeling bad for what is happening now, and thinking about how they were enjoying all those days, thinking about the past. That becomes a negative attitude, where you need to focus more on the present as well as the future. So moreover, you look about present situations and how you are going to solve the issues. At the same time, in future, if you are going to face the same problem, how you will take how you will tackle all those issues. That becomes a uh, if you are able to tackle all those things in future, that becomes a positive attitude. Whereas when you don't think about future, when you don't live in present situations, that becomes a negative attitude. And here it is a process of solving problems, it is a process of looking for the problems. That's what I told in the last class also, that they always look for the problems. Thank you, man. So the people who are having a negative attitude will always look for the problems, whereas the positive attitude people, even though if they are having a problem, they try to solve it. That is a best thing about people who are having a positive attitude. And here, these persons always sees opportunities where these people have a limitations. They stay inside the circles. They have a limitations. They always want to be in the comfortable zone. They don't take risk. They don't want to even take risk, even though they are skilled enough, but still they don't want to get into other areas of, they know that they could achieve, but still they don't want to move out of that particular comfortable zone. So that becomes a negative attitude, whereas the person who has a positive attitude would always look for the opportunities. Now, what are we? I think that's what I told in the last class also, whether you are going to be the optimist, pessimist, or realist. So you can see the image here. Optimists say they see what is the best, what you receive, whatever you receive. So what is the best? That is what you focus more on. Pessimists, they always look at the negative side. So, correct. So when you get something, you always focus more on the negative side. Why you don't get, why you did not get that thing. No, that is what you focus. You are not just happy with whatever things you have got for your life. That's what something the quotation is there. God has given me whatever I needed, but He may not give me what I wanted. So, correct. So what I wanted is something that when you are being pessimist. Okay, sometimes where you can consider as a person who are who are greedy, or who wants more things, but at the same time, being an optimist, how happy life with things that whatever you have other than what you don't have, just looking for the things which you don't have. Just if you keep on focusing on that, if you're not working towards it to get those things, you don't get. So, correct? So when you want to get more marks in the examination, so what you're supposed to do, you have to study more. But without studying, just keep on thinking about I should score more marks, and I'm getting less marks. If you keep on thinking, I don't think that you would get anything. So, correct? So whereas optimists, they are happy with the marks that they have got. So you think what you got, what you have, and try to lead a happy life with that. So whereas the realist is something that which went wrong and which are the areas they have to improve. Maybe they focus more on both sides, the positive side as well as the negative side. They see what is best uh, they receive. At the same time, why they have not received the best. So suppose if they think in such a way, so that's what they show. You can see here the only ones who know what's really going on. So that becomes a realist. So what you are going to be, whether you are going to be a optimist or pessimist, that you need to decide accordingly. So correct. So the better you always keep yourself either in the places of optimist or realist. Don't be in the pessimist place. I think those are things we have seen in the last class as well. We have discussed about cognitive component, affective component, and behavioral component also. Is that completed?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So cognitive component is all about which involves a person's learning, maybe the knowledge, beliefs, and thoughts about a particular object. Secondly, that becomes a cognitive component, whereas affective component is all about which involves a person's feelings, emotions, um, or the attitude about that particular object. That becomes a affecting how emotionally you are attached towards those areas, those things, but feelings. That becomes a affective component. So whereas if you are scared of spiders or anything, that becomes you emotionally you are so much afraid of spiders. So correct. So you think that you are scared of spiders. That becomes a affective component. Whereas the behavior component, it's all about how we act or behave. That becomes a your behavior becomes a behavior component, which involves the maybe the past behaviors, your experiences regarding the object. You will avoid spiders and scream if you see them. So okay, that is what you have seen so far through your past experience. So you will know how you would behave. So that's what behavior component is all about. Like screaming or screaming when you see the spiders. That becomes a behavior component. And I hope we have seen this story also. Three stone cutters, and the cathedral. Yes, have you seen that?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No.
So okay, how many of you heard this story? The three stone cutters. Okay, sorry, here. Just 1 second. Actually, I supposed to ask. I should have asked you to come for the class by 9:30. So 1 second. Oh, the for the second years, the exams are going on for. Just once again, just be maybe what you can do is just take a 5 to 10 minutes break. You come back to the class if you want. If you want, you can remain, or you go and come back by 9:30. Is that fine? People, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, you are
Yes.
audible. Yes, sir,
Yeah.
you are
Yes.
audible.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
If you want, you can leave and come back by 9:30 or 35. Or if you want to remain, you can also remain. Just 1 second here. I think one or two students has not, attended the test. Okay, sorry guys, thank you. Thank you for patiently waiting. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, so has anybody heard about the story?
No,
No one?
sir.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so the story is all about, so now as I told you, attitude is all about how you look at things. Is that correct? So how you behave, how you look at, and whether you react or respond. So all those things really matters. And I think in the last class itself, I told you that to how you have to react or respond, that we will discuss in the next class. But which means the upcoming slides. And the three stone cutters and the cathedral is all about when three stone masons in the Middle Ages, they were working very hard. So correct, and they were cutting something. They were cutting the stones. So correct. So suddenly, visitor came along and asked them what they are doing. So he asked what you are doing, what you people are doing, and the first stone mason said, so he is doing a hard work. He is doing a hard work, and he said, I am cutting the stone for his living. So, right? So he said to the visitor that he is cutting the stone for his living, and he started to continue with his work, and then the visitor started moving towards the second stone cutter, and he asked what you are doing, and he responded. He said, "I'm doing the best job of stone cutting in the country." He said, I'm doing the best job of stone cutting in the country." And the third stone cutter, then the visitor started moving towards the third stone cutter, and he asked what you are doing. The third stone cutter said, I am building a beautiful cathedral that will glorify God for centuries to come. He started saying, he is building a beautiful cathedral. He is not said that he is cutting the stone or, he is doing for his living. He said he is building a beautiful cathedral for centuries to come. It's all about the first stone cutter is simply doing a work, your day's work for maybe the first salary, the material reward he receives in exchange for his labor, the substance of his work, the purpose of his work, um, the context of the work doesn't matter for the first stone cutter. So whereas the second stone cutter has a higher aspirations, as we have in our classroom sessions. Even in every classes you will have some number of students, who are a second stone cutter. They wants to be the best, and most of us we know them well, correct? If we see them inside of a classroom, they would very well know that they want to be the best inside their classroom, or they want to be the best students inside the university. So correct, so there is nothing wrong. I've been thinking about all this. Even Harvard University, what they does is they does an outstanding job of producing students like a second stone cutter. The second stone cutter is unshakable individualist. They believe in the power of humankind, human mind, and its a capacity for reasons. Yet somehow the vision of the second stone cutter is also incomplete. What is the vision they have towards the society that really matters a lot. And the second stone cutter misses the fundamental interconnectedness of humankind, whereas the third stone cutter embraces the broader vision. So interesting to think that the parable has him building a cathedral, not a, it's not like he is building a railway station or any other construction work that he is doing. It's not like a spiritual as well as a physical construction. He thinks that it is related to spirituality. At the same time, it is a physical construction, and that's why he said that would remain for centuries to come. So, okay, so connects a human across generations and joins the efforts to purposes. It's not just about the building a cathedral, it's all about building a temple or a mosque or anything. So, your vision has to be very high. Attitude is show how people, which that is what I told you maybe in the previous slides. As it today, you have to focus more on the future. So how you are going to do sort of impact towards the upcoming generations as well. So attitude shows how people think. So one is a cognitive aspect, and the feel, which is the affective component aspect, and tend to behave, which is the behavioral aspects. With a regard to people or thing, it can be negative or positive or different. So when you believing or be you have to be very much optimistic, having a positive attitude. When you believe, when you feel, when you tend to behave towards an object or event, um, instead of being a pessimist, if you are being optimistic, and if you think that you are building something, maybe the career that you want to pursue, whether it's just for yourself, for the whole society. So know how you are going to be beneficial for the whole society, that you need to always have in your mind. At the same time, looking at this particular story, what sort of visions that you have, how you are looking at the things that what you do, that really matters a lot. Whether you are just doing it for the, how depth you think about whatever things you are doing, that really matters. Whether you are thinking about it for 10 to 15 percentage or 20 percentage, or 80 to 85 percentage or 90 percentage, your broader visions towards what you think or what you believe, what you want to achieve, your mental ideas, your mentally how much you prepare towards achieving those areas. That's what, how you approach and how you look at things, that really matters. That's what the three stonecutter stories also teaches us. That's what the idea they give to us, that you need to have a broader visions, and you need to look at in a depth knowledge. You should have, in depth you need to look at those areas. You need to approach in such a way in order to achieve your career or whatever things that you want to achieve. You need to think in a broader manner. Is that understood? So are you able to understand the story?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And there are four functions of attitude. One is knowledge function, and second one is ego defensive function, and third one is ego expressive function, and the fourth one is utilitarian function. Now looking at the first one, knowledge function is all about, again, knowing one or other's attitude imparts knowledge. Through the attitude, like knowing a person's attitude helps us to predict their behavior. So by their behavior, you have sort of knowledge about that particular character. So the person whomever you are talking to, through your experience, the way you approach their personality, you have sort of knowledge within yourselves about that particular person. Just 1 second. I don't know whether this. Hello? Akriti, what happened to Kachala Abhilash? But his name is not showing here. It's not coming. No, I called him also and he is not picking. So you reminded him, right? You told him, right? No, did you inform him? Okay, okay. Okay. Okay, fine. So thank you, Ed, and sorry for keeping you all waiting. Okay, so now looking at knowledge function, it's all about knowing a person's attitude, which helps us to predict their behavior. So, for example, knowing that the person is very religious, so obviously we know that the person would go to a temple or a mosque or church. You sort of knowledge that you have towards that particular person's based on his behavior. That becomes a knowledge function. Knowing one's one's or other's attitude imparts knowledge. So which is like attitude that allows us to predict what is likely to happen, and also it gives a sense of control within ourselves when you know person's personality. So before you start talking to him, or before you start saying something to them, you would know what sort of response you might get received from that particular person. That's how you know, no sir, the HOD is very angry, and sometimes you start thinking about that, right? So he is very rough, and I won't be able to talk to him. Maybe you go and approach that particular faculty, so you have a discussion among yourself as a student. So that becomes a knowledge function. So what you have, what sort of knowledge you have about that person's attitude. So okay, that's become knowledge functions. Whereas ego defensive functions, it's not just about that person, it is for you also. When you become a manager or something, you also know what sort of knowledge or the ideas you have towards your team members. So guys, that becomes a knowledge function. Whereas ego defensive function, which talks about attitudes, can help people protect their self-esteem and avoid depressions. Do you have any guess what is the ego defensive function is? Anyone?
So it's like, for example, even when you're wrong, sir,
Yes.
and you actually, I don't want to show your ego. You try to put your ego aside.
Okay.
Even you apologize for your mistake.
Okay.
That is type of like you're defending your ego.
Very good. No, you start blaming something else, right? Maybe you do certain mistakes. So instead of yes, I did wrong, instead of accepting it, what you do is you start blaming. Because of that reasons, you are in trouble. So some other things, which is you don't want to show them that you are not skilled. Maybe some areas, like for an example. So not everyone can do everything. That is the truth, right? So you need to accept certain areas that you are not good at. Sometimes the question is, for an example, you may not be able to play like football. The thing is about ego defensive function is all about, so people may not be able to play like a Messi or a Ronaldo, or great players like a Rooney or anybody. But the thing is, instead of accepting it, what we do is we don't like football at all. So the thing is, you don't know how to play football, or you don't know how to play cricket, and you don't have love towards watching movies or playing games. What do you do? Other thing is, you are busy with studying for your examination, but you don't do both. You are not even studying. You are not even a good player. But when they ask the other side, if you are with people who are good at studies, no, I don't have much interest in studies. Sometimes it usually happens when you fail in the interview. What they do, I did really very well, but I don't know what is wrong with that interviewer. You have not answered for, you might have not answered for any questions, but when you come out of that interview hall, what you do is, no, the question was very easy and you answer for the questions. I don't know, maybe some sort of partiality is there, and why they have not recruit you. You start blaming the interviewer. The thing is, the reality is, you did not answer for the questions correctly. So, but you need to accept that, right? They asked for 3 questions, 4 questions. You failed to answer for those questions. You answered only one question. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be selected or not. No, but what we do is, instead of saying that as a I'm sorry, ego defensive function, what we do is we start blaming somebody else. That is we don't want to put ourselves in depressions, and to protect our self-esteem, we start doing that. That becomes a ego defensive function, and it is also the positive attitude towards ourselves. Just like example above, one side it is also having the protective function, which is the ego defensive role is helping us to preserve our own self image. Sometimes we cannot always show our these are your the areas where you don't have much sense on those areas. So okay, to protect those areas, even we can make use of ego defensive function. That is the other side. But we cannot always use this ego defensive function. So whereas ego expressive function, so which used to express one's core values or beliefs, like the attitudes we express, what we like or what we dislike, helps us to express who we are and what are our basic values and what we stand for. That becomes the ego expressive function. It's all about, you cannot we always think about certain things, right? When now what is the issue, what is the thing that now going on is farmers protest is going on. So what is your stand on that? At the other side, you need also make sure that just 1 second. Good morning, sir. Sir, நான் சொல்லுங்க சார். சார் அதை பார்த்தேன், நான் இப்போ கிளாஸில் இருக்க ஸ்டாஃப் முடிச்சுட்டு ரெடி பண்ணி. சரிங்க சார், சரிங்க. நான் கிளாஸ் முடிச்சுட்டு உங்களுக்கு கால் பண்ணவா? சரி. Okay, so ego expressive function is, so know what you stand for. At the same time, you have to protect yourself also the other side. You cannot just start saying whatever you feel like, whatever you think, whatever things that you know running in your mind. But at the same time, you should be very selective. That it's not going to affect you also. At the same time, you also stand for something which really needed. You want to do something for the society also. So ego expressive function used to express one's core values, whatever you believe, and what you stand for. That becomes ego expressive functions. And the utilitarian functions, on the other side, it's also called as instrumental functions, which helps us to choose what is rewarding and also avoid punishment. One side is you get reward, other side you escape from the punishment. It's like a tax evasion attract punishment. Suppose if you tax evasion is, a person may not favor evading taxes because you don't want to get punished and you start paying the tax. So that's what a utilitarian function is, which is an instrumental function. So, in order to avoid the punishments, whatever things that we are doing, that becomes a utilitarian function. So knowledge function is all about knowing one's own or other attitudes, which imparts knowledge. Ego defensive function attitudes can help people protect their self-esteem and avoid depression. And ego expressive function used to express one's core values or beliefs and what you stand for. And utilitarian function helps us to choose what is rewarding, and it also helps us to avoid punishment. This one I just saw this in the website. I felt like it's interesting. I thought of just showing it to you. So, what is more important? Your skills. If you from A to Z, from number 1 to 26, if you see the numbers for the letters, it looks very interesting, right? For skills 19, 11, 9. Yes. There is yes. 19 and K 11. I 9, L 12. So which becomes for skills which needed for to make your life 100%. Skills 82%, knowledge 96, hard work. But if you look at attitude, the way you think, you believe, that becomes 100%. That is what makes your life 100%. No, just I showed this slide to know so that interesting facts are. And this is what people don't see. Now what they see is, whatever the people see, maybe your achievements, the rewards that you get, and the destination that you reach. That's what people would see. Success is like an iceberg. So if you see it, they see just the things which are here, your awards, your recognitions, your achievements, and the image that you show, that they may be seeing it. But here, your attitude, attitudes is related to your sacrifice, your tears, your focus, being healthy, meeting targets, having a good habits, having a daily goals, having a growth mindset, and having a disappointment and how you are overcoming from that, and keeping yourself fit, which staying healthy as well as keeping yourself fit. So those are things which people may not be seeing it. So guys, maybe your close friends would know, but others don't see that. But more, everyone, what they see is here your achievements and your recognitions. Okay. Why I'm saying is, it's not really necessary that you need not show everyone that you are struggling. So correct, and you need to overcome from that. Everyone will have startup problems. So correct, and most of them they don't share it. And if you see the great achievers, the big businessmen, because you should be on the position so where when you say something, it should be the position for the listeners to listen. So guys, and when you keep on saying that you are struggling and throughout your life, I don't think that they don't listen. I think in the last class or previous class I might have told you that you should keep your position on the top level. So correct, because even if you are giving a valid point, but if you don't reach a particular destination, they don't listen. Even if you are giving the worst points, but if you are being recognized by the by the people in the society, they consider as you are giving a valuable points towards them. So guys, it's all about the way you cross the struggles that you overcome, and after overcoming all those struggles, and if you achieve something, then you talk about your struggle. But when you're struggling, then don't talk about the struggles that what you do. So guys, so you need to achieve, then maybe when you talk about your struggles, that how did you overcome from, then that would be the example for other people also. Once you become an IAS, what they do is they start sharing their experience. Once they achieve something in any sort of career, then they start sharing about their problems, their difficulties they have gone through. That becomes a motivation for other people also. So correct. And the other side, that is also motivation factor for you also. Then that is how we learn from other people. So here, what people don't see is your struggles. That you have to keep in your mind. Now, looking at the reaction versus response, the cockroach theory. How many of you heard about cockroach theory? I hope most of you might have heard about this. Anyone?
No, sir.
No, it is said by Sundar Pichai. Who is Sundar Pichai?
CEO of Google.
Google.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the okay. So cockroach theory is all about, it's for a self development. Okay, that's what the story is all about. Whether you are going to react or you are going to respond. So that's what the cockroach theory is all about. If we know, Sundar Pichai started saying this story to a group of people. He said, um, once at a restaurant, a cockroach suddenly started flying from here and there. So correct, and it started jumping from one person to another, and they all started screaming, shouting, and started running here and there. So correct, but as everyone in the group also got the people were got running away from the restaurant. It started jumping from one customer to another customer, and the reaction was same. Suddenly the waiter came, and that cockroach started flying from that particular customer to towards the waiter, and he started flying towards the waiter, maybe on the shoulder somewhere. And the waiter, what he did was, the waiter stood firm, composed himself, and observed the behavior of the cockroach, which is on his shirt. When he was confident enough, he grabbed it with his fingers and threw it out of the restaurant. So, correct? So where the cockroach fell on the customers, they started screaming and they started flying from one customer to another customer. The reaction was same. The waiter came, he observed, and he caught that cockroach and threw it out to the out of the restaurant. So now, is there anything wrong with cockroach or something wrong with people? Now, who did wrong? Is there something wrong with cockroach approach, or anything wrong with people's approach towards cockroach? Who is wrong now?
People.
People.
People, right?
Approach
Because
towards the cockroach.
okay, so the thing is, the cockroach, the behavior of the cockroach is same. So guys, it started jumping here and there. So guys, there is a the behavior of the cockroach. It started moving from here and there, but the mindset all are same, right? The people are same, but what the waiter does, what the waiter did was, he started responding towards the situation, so that he wants to solve the issue. So what is going around? But if you start keep on reacting to the situations, if you are not going to be the better observers, where you are also going to be in trouble. When somebody scolds you, if you start scolding them back again, what happens is, I don't think that you would never come to the conclusion, or you would never solve the issues. But if you start observing it, you never know what was the situation that he come from. Maybe that day might have been the worst day for him when he started coming to office or university or college. We never know. But when somebody is reacting, or somebody is very angry, don't show them the same reaction towards them. Be the best observer and try to respond to the situations. You observe it and then you start responding, which means maybe like it's all about how the waiter responded towards that particular situations, and which is what, and you can also understand that it's understood. You should not react in life. You should always respond. Whereas the people or the customers were reacted, but the waiter responded. But the reactions are always instinctive. So whereas the responses are always well thought of, just under it is right to save the situations from going out of hands. Even when you get married, in future, what happens is, obviously you will have a fight. So maybe the quarrels will be there. Even it's sort of misunderstanding will be there between you and your wife, or between husband and wife. So whenever you have a conflict, don't just go out of the family, or asking bring your parents and telling to third persons, trying to resolve the issues which happen in your family. Just if your wife is angry, whether you are angry, just observe the things and try to resolve the issues. So, correct? So don't make it like you're going out of the hands, and which helps you to avoid cracks in relationships, also to avoid taking decisions in anger, anxiety, stress. What happens is, you are in anger and you are in anxiety, you are into depressions. Whatever decisions that you make, that may not be the best decisions. What I usually do is, when I'm angry and when something goes wrong, take us, go and just sleep for some time, and maybe you get up after some time. Automatically, the things would be reduced. That's what how you need to respond. If you don't know what to do, just go and sleep, or do something else which you find interesting. Second, at least for that time. And even somebody, if they got during the examination, if they got by copying, the best thing what they can do is, instead of keep on thinking about that incident, I should have not done that. You did it and you are caught. What is the next step that you are going to do? Don't put yourself in depression, and how you are going to solve the issues. So anyway, that particular exam is going to be cancelled. What are the next steps they are going to take? And accordingly, you need to plan it out, and whether they are going to make a call to your parents, whether before they make a call, whether you are going to tell them, or you yourself going to handle that particular situations. It's all about observing things going around, at the same time how you are going to respond to the situations. Whether you can sit away, go to the department, you can talk to the faculties, you can talk to maybe that particular day. Yes, they might be very angry. Take a time. Maybe next day you can go and approach them, or after a week you can go and approach them. Get an idea what are things going around. Accordingly, you can start responding to the situations. Is that understood? I hope you people, that the best thing what you have to learn is you are not going to react to the situations, and you are going to respond to whatever things that are going around. So with that, the attitude session is over. And if you have any questions related to attitude, yes, you can ask me. If not, I can start taking attendance, and after taking attendance, you people can leave the. We may wind up the session for today. Any questions?
No, sir.
We were having
Sir, I
our
have a-
CT2, sir. Who is that? Shwes Raj. Do you have exams now?
So he was saying that we had our CT2. You told that we had our CT3. That's why.
No, CT3 is for, okay, fine. That is for second years. Okay, yeah, tell me.
Sir, like right now we discussed about reacting and responding.
Okay.
So sometimes, what happens is that if we don't react in some situations and we keep on responding, sir.
No.
then sometimes,
That's what it's not something that you always need to respond. They would always put you down. Is that correct? So, it is like they will take it as an advantage, right? So when you keep on responding, that becomes a advantage for others also. It's not like that. It depends upon the situations there. It depends upon whom you are talking to, and whether how much value that you are giving to, how much value that you are giving towards that particular relationship, and whether you want to have that particular friendship or not. It depends upon. So when you don't like someone, it's not really necessary that you need to respond to him. So when you don't want to have that particular maybe the friendships, if you don't want to prolong, it's it's no use of responding to the situations where you can start ignoring. That time you could start reacting. So maybe the react, whenever you react to the situations, it should be very less. It has to be limited. So it's not really necessary that you need to react every time. It depends upon the situations. Yes, you can do that, because when somebody is misbehaving and doing worse things, that time sir told you that you need to respond. You cannot respond that time. Of course, you need to react. It depends upon the situations. But the moreover, the best thing is, so you should know when to react and when to respond. Accordingly, you are going to do that. But if you calculate in percentage, the more number of time you are going to respond in order to avoid the problems or the things that should not go. If you think that it should not go out of your hand, then you should start respond. Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions here? Okay, so I will start taking attendance for CSE E1 section.
Sir, take for
Any
G2
newcomers?
for even
Okay,
first.
fine. Okay, fine. Then I will talk taking attendance for them. Okay. So thank you so much for attending today's sessions, and take care of yourself. Stay safe. After answering for your attendance, you can leave the session. 051,
Present.
052, 052, 53.
Sir, this is
Zero.
G2 session.
So guys, G2 section, please answer for your attendance.
52%.
I hope you are able to see the screen also. Kindly answer for your attendance. 53,
Yes, 52%.
Adnan.
Sir, 52%.
Okay. Yeah, present. Yeah, 53, Adnan. 54, 54, 55.
Present, sir.
G2 section. 57, 57,
Present, sir.
58,
Present, sir.
59, 59, 60, Janvi 50, I'm sorry, 60,
Present, sir. Present, sir.
61,
Present, sir.
62,
Present, sir.
62, 63,
Present, sir.
65, 66, 66, Aditya, 68,
Present, sir.
69,
Present, sir.
70,
Present, sir.
71, 71, Priyanshu, 72,
Present, sir.
73,
Present, sir.
74,
Present, sir.
75,
Present, sir.
76, 76, 77, 78, 78, 79, 79, 79, who said present? 79 or 78?
Sir, 78 present.
Okay. 79, 80,
Sir, Surbi 70. Number
Present.
Surbi
Present, sir.
who 79? Okay, 80,
Present, sir.
81, 81,
Present, sir.
82,
Present, sir.
83, 83,
Present, sir.
7 also.
84,
Sir,
84, Ashutosh, 84, 85, Shantanu,
Present, sir.
87,
Present, sir. Sir, also
88.
77 is also present.
77,
Yes.
okay, 89,
Present, sir.
90,
Present, sir.
91,
Present, sir.
92, 92, 93,
Present, sir.
94,
Present, sir.
95,
Present, sir.
96, 96, 97,
Present, sir.
98, 98,
Sir, 98 is not there. 99.
I'm sorry, 99, 100,
Present, sir.
101, 101, 102,
Present, sir.
103, 103, 104,
Present, sir.
105,
Present, sir.
106,
Present.
106, 107,
Present, sir.
109.